Welcome to my podcast, guys. If you are here to work on your relationship with your child, then you are for sure in the right space, because you will always have to work on your relationship with yourself. And this is what I offer here on my podcast. So if you listen to my podcast and hear things that are not obviously related to your son, listen on, because whatever you improve in your relationship with yourself will automatically improve all of your relationships, including with your son. So welcome and enjoy. Hello, everybody. How are you? I am doing so good. I'm excited to talk to you, tell you about my summer. How's your summer going? I hope it's going so good. I hope you're getting lots of time with your kids, if that's what you want. Or if not, hopefully you're enjoying your work. Either way, hopefully you're enjoying your summer. I've actually been really enjoying my summer this summer more than all the previous ones. And I think it's the result of all the work I've been doing on myself and, loving being with my kids. I never used to be like that. And I have been working on how the heck do I enjoy time with my kids. I have 4 boys, ages 5 to 9 now, and I'm sure I do enjoy time with them, but there were times where I wasn't enjoying it as much as I would like, right? So, and it was stressful and they were little, right? So maybe this was all totally fine at that time, but I was always kind of trying to find that balance, like, how do I love this, right? How do I want to do this, right? Because it's a hard job. And I'm finally finding the summer that I am totally embodying that. Like, I want to spend time with them, which is pretty cool. So we're doing lots of fun stuff. And maybe it's the ages too. Like, you see how I'm trying to assign it to something else outside of me? I'm like, oh yeah, it's the ages. It's just a fun age. Sure, right? But I think I need to give credit to myself for doing the work to love being with my kids. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of taking the boys to the skateboard park, and when it was super hot, I was taking them to some of the rivers, and we are kind of close to the mountains, so the rivers are really cold, which actually was great because it was so hot that we could spend a couple hours cooling down in the river. So that was great. And yeah, the boys went fishing with their dad. It's just been such a good, I have every summer I have a bucket list and I write down all the things I want to do with my kids. And then I kind of take, what they want into consideration and plan, like, okay, what do I want and what do they want? And then I plan it all. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. And today I want to talk to you about how you should change the oil in your car. Okay, it's super important that we always change the oil in the car. Whatever car you have, you always have to change it regularly, and like a little reminder will go on for you. And no, I don't have a story for you about my car, but I do have a story for you about why I'm talking about this. So I'll start here. So my best friend every summer usually goes on a trip back to her home country to visit her parents and takes like 4 to 8 weeks off just to be there with her family and her kids, and just completely just goes off the grid and doesn't do work or doesn't do anything else, but just is with her family. And at first I didn't like that because I missed my best friend. So I was like, where are you? Why aren't you calling me, or why aren't we texting? And she would reply and everything, and now we chat. But then this year she's gone for 4 weeks. So this year I really followed her example and decided that I'm going to focus mostly on only on my kids for the summer, and not spend any time that I was spending during the school year on the work, except for coaching my clients, but not spend any extra time on selling and marketing and all of the stuff that I was doing when they were in school. So I would only do this podcast for you guys and coach my clients, right? So which is kind of like the bare minimum, right? So most of the days I have planned are available for my kids, which is very important to And I am so happy that I can be with them. I feel like it's a privilege and a luxury that I can actually be with them whenever I want to be. So that's what I'm doing. I decided, okay, I'm going to try this. And it feels amazing, because before I would be afraid, if I stop marketing and selling and doing other things in my business, then my clients won't get any help, and maybe they'll miss out and I'll miss out, right? There's some of the fear that was there. And then I just decided that the clients will totally be fine. Everyone will be fine. And this is exactly what I need, and that's what they need. So that's what I decided, and that's what I've been trying, and it's been great. And and because I've decided to spend more time with the kids, I've been doing that, and I haven't been coaching myself as much. Okay, so if you're a life coach, your number one responsibility is to coach yourself. That's what I believe anyway, so that you can be able to coach others, right? Because if I can't coach myself, then I probably won't be useful to other people, right? If I can't even overcome my own excuses in my own head, then that's what I should do first. But so, I decided to be with my kids, and, summer, and I kind of like to let myself go in terms of self-coaching. So I wasn't coaching myself regularly. And so I found myself once standing in front of the window of my bedroom and realizing that I am feeling a bunch of different feelings. I was feeling tired. I was feeling like I was at the effect of my life. So I was not feeling like I'm in charge of my life. I was feeling like life is happening to me. It's happening very fast and I can't keep up. And there's all these things that I have to do. And there's the next one. And just that general feeling of tiredness. And that's when I realized that this is what it is like for most of my clients. And here's how I know, is because before I found life coaching, that's how it was for me all of the time. I felt like I was be affected by my life. Life was happening to me. I was not really in charge of what happens in my life. I was just kind of swept up with the flow of the river, and I was just in it, and wherever it would take me, that's what I would be doing. And I was reactive, right? I was reactive to whatever happens next. Okay, I'll react. What do they need from me? I'll react. What do they need from me? Whatever my husband says, I might have a reaction. Groceries, whatever, anything that's coming up in life, I was reactive to it. I was feeling not in control of it. I was feeling at the effect of it. And I had that realization that this is basically, if you picture my life, there's a before and an after. Before I found life coaching, that's how I lived most of my life. I was reactive. I was at the effect of my life, not in charge. I felt rushed. I felt tired. I felt resentful that that my husband wouldn't help, or that other people looked like they were enjoying their life too much, or too much, like in my books, right? And how come they were enjoying time with their kids? Like, right? Hate those people. I was blaming that others for how I felt. I was blaming my husband if I was too tired and didn't get any help. I was blaming my kids for feeling like I don't have a choice, right? Like who forced me to have kids? I had kids, right? Nobody forced me to have 4 boys. So, but before that, that's how I was feeling. Blaming. I was hoping things would get better. Again, not in control, right? When we're hoping. And I was wishing things were better. I was wishing that I was different. I was wishing that I was enjoying life more. And I was feeling disappointed. Like, this is not what I expected. This is not, what's wrong with me, right? So I just described to you the picture of how I felt my life. And how I felt is how I experienced my life. Notice how I didn't really tell you what was happening in my life. This was my experience of my life, right? This was before I found life coaching. Then, of course, I found life coaching, and that blew my head off. Like, that changed my life so much that, of course, I'm a life coach now. But the reason why it changed my life is because it gave me back the feeling of in control of my life. It like pointed out to me how it is that I am actually creating the experience of my life. And it is, of course, with my thoughts. My thoughts create all my feelings. And as I learned that, and as I started applying it in my life, everywhere, I then became the after. So after, it was like about 3 years ago that I found it, that I then, as I realized, okay, I am in charge of the experience of my life, and I started looking at my thoughts, I started picking my thoughts, I started being more intentional with what I'm thinking about my life. And here's the experience that I've had after I found life coaching, okay? So more intentional, right? I feel like I can pick and choose what I want in my life. Satisfied. Hey, I chose to do this and I did it. I feel satisfied. I chose to say no to this, so I didn't have to do this. Satisfied. Hey, I wanted kids. I have kids. Satisfied. Notice how the circumstance, like the fact of life that I have as kids, didn't change, but I went from feeling resentful that I have to take care of them to feeling satisfied that, hey, I wanted kids, I do have kids. And all of that was the difference in the sentences I was thinking. So I was feeling intentional, satisfied, proud of myself for doing that work, for finding a way to enjoy my life, and for creating the life that I want, right? Excited about what I am creating in my life, what I want in my life for the future. Excited that I have the life that I want. Excited that I have a husband that I want, the kids that I want, the house that I want, the car, the education, the career, right? Rested, because when I'm intentional with my life and I'm practicing taking care of myself, I ask for a break if I need a break, or I take myself to bed if I'm tired, or I feed myself good food, right? So that's how I started feeling. And most of all, I felt in control of how I experienced my life, in control of my life. So, and also I have time for everything. I felt like, when you change the oil in your car, and by changing so here we go back to the changing the oil in the car. So when I look at my life and I think before and after life coaching, there is basically, before I would not change the oil in my car, and the oil would be dirty and the engine wouldn't run well. It would not, the car wasn't working well, right? It would like create dark smoke in the back. The engine would make terrible noises. I didn't know if the car was reliable, right? So that was my life before. And the oil, so what I'm referring to the oil is thoughts that I was thinking before. I was not looking at the thoughts. That means I wasn't looking at the oil. I didn't even know that I had to look at the oil. I didn't know that I had to look at the thoughts to see if the thoughts are clean and useful to run the engine. That means to run my life. And so then I found out, oh, hey, for your car to run smoothly, you have to change the oil regularly. You have to take the dirty oil out and put the new oil in. Oh, okay. So that's what I did. I looked at the oil that I had. I looked at the thoughts that I had, and not all of them were bad. And when I say bad, I mean not useful, because thoughts are just thoughts. They're not good and they're not bad. They're sometimes very useful, sometimes not so useful. So then I took a look at my oil. I'm like, oh, yuck, this oil is super dirty. Most of these thoughts are, I don't even want them in there. Some of these thoughts need to be cleaned, maybe changed a little bit. Some of these thoughts have to go completely. And I'm going to put back clean oil in. That means I'm going to put in thoughts about my life that I want to put in. so that the engine runs smoothly. And when I ran this analogy on paper, so I wrote down the engine runs smoothly equals car is working. And in our life, the way we know that our life is working is that when we enjoy our life, right? So enjoying my life is when the engine is working. And so my life is working. The car is working. So basically, I want to tell you, the message of today is change the oil in your car. That's actually, I'm telling you that like literally. And also remember that you need to check and change the oil in your brain, which is the thoughts that you're thinking. The thoughts that you're thinking are what's creating your life being enjoyable for you or not. Okay? And this is amazing, amazing news. There's nothing wrong with you if you're not enjoying your life. And you can just change the oil and just enjoy your life. Like super easy, right? There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain's working perfectly. And here I am. I'm just here delivering the message like, hey, let's change the oil. And if you don't know how to, I would love to be that oil changer professional to help you do that and teach you how to do that on your own too, if you want to. Because that's what I did, right? That moment that I was standing by the window and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like run down, tired, at the effect of my life, kind of swept up by it. That was just a little signal to me like, oh, right. I just need to step out of my life and look at the oil. Like, look at the thoughts I'm thinking, slow down, take a look at them, clean them out, keep the ones that I want to keep, throw out the ones that I want to keep. And just remind myself that, hey, what your husband says is not so hurtful like you think. It's actually what you're thinking that's hurting you, right? And hey, your kids are not assholes. It's just that they, whatever, right? I don't remember what was, but I was noticing that I was feeling kind of like affected by what my husband says, what my kids do, and I was just feeling like the life is like smacking me on the cheeks, right? I'm like, no, whoa, let's slow down here, let's stop, let's get intentional. Let's clean it out. No one's hurting me. No one's out to get me. This is all just my brain creating kind of like this drama. So this, let me just check my notes. See, this is this is such an aha moment for me. And I'm hoping that you can feel the difference between the two different experiences of life. In one, I am offering you can feel satisfied, proud, rested, in control. You can feel like you have time for everything. You can feel intentional. You can feel like you're enjoying your life. Like you can feel like, oh, this is what I expected. This is what I envisioned for myself, for my life. And I have it. How amazing. You can have that. And here's what's amazing. You can have that by simply changing your thoughts about your life and not actually changing your life. Okay? And no, I'm not talking about thinking positively. When people usually refer to thinking positively, is that when they mean that, oh, hey, I'm going to think these positive thoughts about this terrible life. And that is not what I mean at all. What I am saying is that your thoughts are the ones that are creating your life for you, your experience of your life. So if you're trying to think a good thought about something that you still think is bad, you're not doing it right. What I'm suggesting is you take the thought that this is bad and you look at it. That is the thought that needs to be cleaned, changed, thrown out, updated. Okay? That's what I'm saying. It's not positive thinking. It's not negative thinking. Is this thought useful? No. Let's throw it away. Is this thought useful? Yes, let's keep it. So change the oil in your car and also regularly change the thoughts in your head. And for me, well, I'm a life coach, so this is like my daily jam, right? I love coaching, and I'm highly sensitive when I don't coach myself. So my best practice is I coach myself every day, because I see the effects of how it affects me with my children, with my clients, with my husband, with everything. It's just day and night. But for like, let's say if I'm recommending it for you to change the oil in your car, right? Let's see, how often I think I change the oil in my car maybe twice a year. I think that's true. Maybe the same for you, right? So what I'm suggesting is, you don't have to do it every day like I do. I'm a life coach. That's my job. And you don't have to do it twice a year. What I have found to be useful for non-life coach people is that it's kind of like a gym, once a week gym routine that you go to, and you clean out your brain. You clean out your brain, you change the oil, you learn something new, and you pick intentionally what you want for your life with the help of a professional. And that is me. I would be your oil professional, your thought professional, someone who can just point out, oh, hey, by the way, did you notice that you have this thought? Oh, here, yeah. Do you want to keep this thought, or do you want to ditch it, right? So this is what I would recommend is trying it out and seeing how you feel, and paying attention to how you feel. If you're feeling like life is happening at you, then you need to come see me ASAP. You need to come talk to me, or any life coach, really, because they will, if they're a good coach, they will show you where your power is and where you are creating your life instead of where you are being the victim of your life. So please come see me. I want you to feel so satisfied and proud and excited and in control. I want you to feel like that. And when you feel like that, of course, your relationships will change, transform to such an amazing connection with your son, your spouse, anyone really. So the way you get in touch with me is going to my website. You can go to www.coachingnatalia.com and then going to work with me page. And you can simply select, pick a free mini session. You can book your time and I will be there. It's completely free. The first session is free. So all you have to do is just be willing to be open for the 45 minutes. All right, guys, I love you so much. Have fun with this, and I hope that you feel satisfied soon. Bye.